Hello there, art enthusiasts. This chapter, which you're about to see, is a brief overview of how I paint. Here we have the lovely Venetia. I will take you through the different stages that the painting goes through to try to illustrate how I put these together. Okay, here we're doing the beginnings of the pencil sketch, and I'm laying down the outlines with number 2 pencil, 2H to be exact, not pressing too hard, don't want to go too dark at the beginning, and I'm trying to move around the eye area to define edge of the cheek, under the chin, and it's just a slow process because your pencil drawing is critical to the entire painting working out properly. And I can't emphasize enough to pencil, then erase, and then repencil until you're sure you've got your drawing properly positioned with respect to anatomy and good composition as well. And here I'm trying to define the edges again and the contours around her arm and her leg, and starting to work towards her hand, fingers and feet, and trying to keep the size of the hand relating to the other parts of her body, because it's about ratios. The hand is usually the same size as your face. Okay, here I am putting in some of the blacks to separate the figure from the background, and here I'm going in with a tool that I like to use. Is a makeup is often used to apply makeup. It's like has two ends to it. It absorbs paint very well, and they're disposable. And it's got a very fine point at the end, so you can really get good detail with it. And I'm using that tool to apply paint, which is a thinned oil paint with odorless mineral spirits with alkyd resin as the binder. And I'm going in against the edge of her knee, trying to define that edge between her and the background. And it's very important that you keep your drawing precise, because when you start layering on the paint later, you want to be a good foundation. And here I'm going in with some of the mid-tones around the edge of her calf, trying to start to give form, beginnings of the form to the spherical form of the human figure. And during this stage, I've gotten more of the undertones of the painting down with a light wash of yellow, and here I'm going in with more midtones of orange on her calf. And it's important to keep in mind when you're painting these things that the human figure is really made up of sphere, cube, and cylinder construction, depending on which part of the body you're dealing with. And I tried to, when I rendered these flesh tones, to keep that in mind so that there's form and structure to the figure. And here I'm continuing to apply more midtones to different areas of the figure with respect to her knee and under her thigh. And keep in mind that the footage is sped up quite quickly, so as to give you a brief overview, because the amount of time this really takes is beyond the scope here to really do it as per minutes go by. And here I'm going in with the underside of her breasts. Here I'm starting to apply some of the darks under her calf. Important to define that area because that's what makes the dark shadow on her thigh. It's also important to lay your shadows down smoothly so that there's no streaks and unwanted lumps and bumps in your paint. Again, this tool comes in handy to smooth out the paint so your surface quality is even and has a good translucency as well. When it's even, it reflects the underpainting that's underneath it. And here I'm going in with her the same type of shadow color underneath her wrist, and here I'm applying some of the darker midtones under her forearm, and I'm being careful also to make sure that that is evenly distributed through that area, and sometimes it requires going over it multiple times to really spread it out evenly, and taking a clean tool to remove some paint sometimes is necessary. And as I'm doing this, it's important to also keep in mind other areas of the painting that might need that same color, because while you have it on your tool, it's good to be efficient and spread it in other areas. Here's a perfect example of going in with the lights to try to soften some of those midtones that got too dark. And it's important to do that because you want your flesh tones to be smooth and luxurious. And pretty much this is how the painting should look when you've done all the tweaking and adjustments. And this is Venetia, sitting in her normal, relaxed pose, and I think I did get a good feeling out of this painting of it capturing her thought and her mood. And I hope this demonstration was informative to you, and thanks for tuning in to Naughty Art.